ado, if everybody will stand as we recognize our senior graduate this year. All right. Are you ready? All right, good deal. You may be seated. Somebody asked me this morning about the junior puppet team. They put me in a word when we used to have a junior puppet team. Christian was one of our first members of our junior puppet team. He was doing 2 puppets behind the stage this morning. You wondered why there were 3 puppets and only 2 people got out. No, there's nobody back there taking a nap.
Christian Tyler Rudd, son of Steve and Anessa Rudd, graduated from Alamance Christian School on May the 29th of this year. Christian had 6 classmates that attended ACS from K4 through 12th grade, including himself. Throughout school, he has received awards such as Mr. Hustle, Outstanding Work, Outstanding Conduct, Willingness to Help, and Perfect Attendance. For the past 4 years, Christian has been involved in community service, especially enjoying his volunteer work that has put him at the hospice store, where he has been given the responsibility to run the electronic department. Christian has also worked the computer for the choir for several years now and fills in for Miss Yvonne as needed. 3 years ago, Christian started his own lawn care business, where he currently has been able to keep up 10 yards while keeping up his work in grades in high school. Christian began playing baseball when he was 4 years old and has played all the way through his high school years. This year he was given an award for a 4-year letterman, named to second team all-region, and given the coach's award. This fall, Christian plans to attend Alamance Community College and major in landscaping. Christian would like to thank those of you who have supported him over the years with his fundraisers to help send him on class trips. This year's trip to Florida will be one he will always remember because he got to swim with the dolphins, stingrays, and other animals at Discovery Cove. All right. I'm going to ask Christian's parents and his grandparents and his family to stand at this time. If y'all will stand, let's give him a hand. All right. We could have started at 10:30 this morning, but told the preacher we'll start at 1:45, so if we go to 1/4 after, y'all just bear with me, okay? Anytime that I have a young person to graduate who sticks around and puts up with me for the length of time that they have to, then I try to look at them and I try to pick out the good in my young people, because there's not many places in this world today where people go try to pick out the good in a young person. You turn on Channel 2 and Channel 8 and Channel 12 and CNN and all those, and I can assure you, you'll get enough of it in just a minute or two to make you sick on your stomach. But I believe in bringing out the good. So I looked into my daily bread, and I looked up the word service. And I should have tape recorded this so I wouldn't get emotional, Christian. Because that's what I think of when I see Christian. He's a hard worker. A lot of times the word hard working teenagers are not mentioned in the same line. And I've had 1 or 2 teenagers.
But Christian, when I look at you and I think about you, I think about how hard a worker you are and how you would do anything that I would ask you to do. You've been very faithful in your service. Having served in World War I C.S. Lewis was no stranger to stresses of military service. In a public address during the Second World War, he eloquently described the hardships a soldier has to face. All that we fear of all the kinds of adversity is collected together in the life of a soldier on active service. Like sickness, it threatens pain and death. Like poverty, it threatens ill lodging, cold, heat, thirst, and hunger. Like slavery, it threatens toil, humiliation, injustice, and arbitrary rule. Like exile, it separates you from all love. The Apostle Paul used the analogy of a soldier suffering hardship to describe the trials that a believer may experience in service to Christ. Paul, now at the end of his life, had faithfully endured suffering for the sake of the gospel. He encourages Timothy to do the same. You therefore must endure hardship as a good soldier of Jesus Christ. Serving Christ requires perseverance. We may encounter obstacles of poor health, troubled relationships, or difficult circumstances. But as a good soldier, we press on with God's strength, because we serve the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, who sacrificed himself for us. Dear Father, help me to be faithful in my service to you. Thank you for the strength you provide to help me persevere through suffering. God's love does not keep us from trials, but it sees us through them. Christian has been one that, as I said again, I don't mean to repeat myself, but he's got a characteristic of hard worker, which is something that I firmly believe in. And Christian, I want to say that it's been a pleasure to have you in my youth group and in our church here. And I'm very happy to hear that you're going to Alamance Community College, and that means you'll continue to go to church here and be part of us. All right, and thank you again. And I think Chelsea wants to come and say a little something for you, and then we're going to present you with a gift, and then we'll have it all ready.
Okay. I'm going to read a book called Oh, the Places You'll Go, and it's by Dr. Seuss.
I tell you what, I can read that book. You want me to read it?
Me and you stand right here in case I have a tough word, okay? All right. Dr. Seuss, guys. Congratulations. That's a big word. Today is your day. You're off to great places, and you're off and away. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know, and you are the guy who will decide where you go. I like his book. You look up and down streets, you look him over with care. About some you will say, I don't choose to go there. With a head full of brains, and that says a lot being a Staley, and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down a not so good street. Y'all hear this, don't you? And you may not find any you'll want to go down. In that case, of course, you'll head straight out of town. This is getting tougher, Chelsea. It's opener over there in the wide open air. Out there, things can happen and frequently do to people as brainy and footsy as you. And when things start to happen, don't worry, don't stew. Just go right along, and you'll start happening too. Oh, the places you'll go. You'll be on your way up. You'll be seeing great sights. You'll join the high flyers who soar with high heights. You won't lag behind because you'll have the speed. You'll pass the whole gang and you'll soon take the lead. Wherever you fly, you'll be the best of best. Wherever you go, you'll be the top of all rest. Except when you don't, because sometimes you won't. I'm sorry to say, but sadly it's true, that bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. You can get all hung up in that prickly perch, and your gang will fly on, and you'll be left at lurch. You'll come down from the lurch with an unpleasant bump, and the chances are then that you'll be in a slump. And when you're not in a slump, you're not in for much fun. Unslumping yourself is not easily done. You'll come to a place where the streets are marked. Some windows are lighted, but mostly they're dark. A place you could sprain both your elbow and chin. Do you dare stay out? Do you dare go in?
Streets are marked. Some windows are lighted, but mostly they're dark. A place you could sprain both your elbow and chin. Do you dare stay out? Do you dare go in? How much can you lose? How much can you win? And if you go in, should you turn to the left or right and 3/4, or maybe not quite, or round back and sneak in from behind? Simple it's not, I'm afraid you will find, or a mind maker upper to make his mind. You'll get so confused that you'll start in the race down long wiggle roads at breakneck pace and grind for miles across weirdest wild space, headed I fear toward a most useless space, the waiting place. Doctor's office, no, or just for people just waiting for a train to go, or a bus to come, or a plane to go, or mail to come, or rain to go, or phone to ring, or snow to snow, or waiting for yes or no, or waiting for their hair to grow. Everyone's just waiting for fish to bite, yep. Waiting for the wind to fly kite, waiting for a rail for Friday night, waiting perhaps for their Uncle Jay, a pot to boil or a better break, a string of pearls, a pair of pants, or a wig with curls, another chance. Everyone's just waiting. No, that's not for you. Somehow you'll escape, and all that waiting and staying, you'll find the bright places where boom bands are playing. With the banner flapping, and once more you'll ride high, reaching for anything under the sky. Ready because you're that kind of guy. All the places you'll go, there's fun to be done, there's points to be scored, there's games to be won, and the magical things you can do with that ball will make you the winningest winner of them all, fame. You'll be famous as famous can be, with the whole wide world watching you win on TV. Except when they don't, because sometimes they won't. I'm afraid that sometimes you'll play lonely games too. Games you can't win, because you'll play against you. All alone. Whether you like it or not, alone will be something. You'll be quite alone. And when you're alone, there's a very good chance you'll meet things that scare you right out of your pants. There are some down the road between hither and yon that can scare you so much you won't go on. But on your wheel, go through the weather be foul, and on your wheel go through the enemy's prowl, and on your wheel go through hack and cracks howl, onward up many frightening creek, though your arms may get sore, and your sneakers may leak. And only on your hike, I thought that was the dreams that scared me. And I know you'll hike far and face up to your problems, whatever they are. You'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with many strange birds as you go. So be sure you step with care and great tact, and remember that life's a great balance in that. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft. And never give up your right foot. Never mix up your right foot with your left. And you will succeed, yes indeed.